Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dominions 4 Multiplayer Showdown, Episode 32, Turn 45. We are 5 turns away from the completion of our multiplayer campaign. We're coming at the end. Now, you can see that this is kind of the position we're in, right? So we've got my scout here with a massive army that he's moved off the throne. And then we've got my absolutely a massive army here. So, yeah, Tortuga actually reached out to me and he basically said, hey, you've got a big army, I've got a big army, let's fight. So, that's what we're going to do, because it'll be fun. Now, I did build a temple here, you can see, which will help a little bit. I think he said he's gonna come to us, so just set all my units on patrol. So what we're gonna do this episode is we're gonna set everything up to do that. The series may be pretty much over, but that doesn't mean we can't have a little fun and show off a really big battle. I think, in general, I'm in a pretty good spot to do what it is I need to do. So, army setup. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Yeah. Pretty large army. Chances are he can definitely beat us. Just by looking at everything I got here, I'm almost positive he could beat us. I have a large army, but frankly, it's not large enough. The lictors are really going to be the main fighting force. It's not large enough, but it's large. We'll be able to move all of our units from these 2 locations as well as that. Oh, we can't move them here. We don't have a leader. Well, we'll be able to move the rest of our units from these 2 locations in, so at least that's good. So we can grab up all these lictors and everything. Grab up all of these units here. Because at this point, it's pretty much over. So we may as well do whatever we can do to win. I could even throw some province defense on here with the extra gold just to give us a little bit more of an advantage. So basically, for me, the series is pretty much over. There's nothing I can do to change the outcome, unless, of course, I was to win this battle, which I don't think so. From what I've heard from the other players, Tortuga's army has just gotten absolutely massive and very powerful. And actually, if you look, you can see that he's taken that throne, so he's pretty much about to win the game. So this is kind of the last thing we're going to do before he wins. It looks like he's actually got a shaman there, so he may even, I think it's just holding it, but this will be like the last big battle and the game will be pretty much over. So I'm going to take all of my forces, pull them up here, and get ready. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to spend this, like I said, we're going to spend this turn kind of preparing for that. Now we can see we've got everybody kind of set up and ready to go. Obviously, we'll put attack the closest enemies. Fine. We'll put some of these lictors up in the front part. Lictor commanders kind of scattered throughout different parts of the army to help kind of reinforce the morale of our undead units. That's not a real thing. I'm just role playing that. Don't get all mad at me and start like throwing poop at me in the comment section because I said I was going to reinforce the morale of my undead units. Obviously, they don't have morale. They're undead. They have really high morale. But they technically can't be broken, so they can't fall back or anything. What do I want to do here, right? Throw some line formations up. I'm wondering if I should throw them up in the back. I'm glad I managed to get a scout there, so I can at least see what he's got. I don't even know what any of these are, though. Mono shows, Bake Mono Archers, Summer Lions, and Ubas. 12 huge vine ogres were seen towering over the army. There's also in the army at radiated power. The local defense of this province only consists of 1 officer and a few loyal henchmen. So I have no idea what to really expect. My biggest thing is like I want to make sure I've got enough units. You know, I've got some units on the back just in case he pulls some sort of, I don't know, dark magic and spawns in behind me. I don't think that's going to happen, but I also don't, like I said, I don't know really what to expect. So we'll just have, plus these units will still march forward, so as long as we just have like the whole goal is just to have like an unending wave of undead. It's really the goal, ultimately, in this whole thing. Just have this like stupid, ridiculous amount of undead units, and get to watch it all kind of do its thing. I'm going to put it in a sparse line formation. I'm going to break some of these units up a little bit. In fact, I should really put a lot of these in a sparse line unit, I realize. Some of them are too large. Some of these lines are too large to do that, though. So I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, these guys, if I could put them with the other cavalry unit, I'm going to do that, and I can. That just makes more sense. I'll keep these with him. Okay, let me move back down the list, because I don't want to get lost here. Yeah, you're set to attack the rear. I want them, like, off and to the side as far as I could pretty much put them. I could put them in a skirmish formation. That makes sense, right? And off and to the side, because these guys need to move quick and go for the rear units. This one as well. Same thing, skirmish formation. Off and far up to the side. Attack rear, attack rear. These guys are set to attack the rear too, huh? Double line formation, off and to the side. Put them near the back a little bit. I should have a couple more units set to attack the rear. Line formation up in the front. All ghouls, soulless, everything like that goes right up in the front. Horde of skeletons. We gotta make sure everybody's got horde of skeletons on. Undisciplined don't really matter. We can't do much with them. Just put them up in the front. They're really just for absorbing. So the soulless are basically just there to absorb, like, as cannon fodder. They're going to absorb most of the stuff that the enemy throws at us, like, right off the bat. So any charges, anything like that, massive amounts of magic, fire, archers and stuff, I'm hoping they'll absorb. Yeah, so these guys, right? Line formation makes sense for trample. And putting them up in the front really makes sense. Because even if they die very quickly up in the front, they will absorb a lot of archers, and the enemy is going to make a beeline, like, right towards them for the most part. And they're going to take a lot of hits. They got a lot of HP. They have trample too, I believe. They probably won't make it to them in time. They do have trample. Skirmish formation. No, we definitely want a sparse line formation, I think, to really kind of spice it up. A sparse line formation. Where's this guy, right? Let's keep him, like, near the Lich, but not right up in the front, right? He might die pretty quickly, too. Okay, we got a couple different lines here. Boy. Get a couple more sparse line formations. Doesn't have to be like anything nuts, but it really gives us like these nice sweeping troops, right? Attack closest. Let's see. Give me a rearmost enemies for that. Put them in a skirmish formation up to the side. Let's do a couple. We have so many units. Why not take some of these, right? Put them in skirmish formations off to the side with the cavalry and make them kind of do this flanking move, right? So they're going to go to attack the rear enemies, but obviously they probably won't make it to the rear. But what they'll do is they'll kind of create this, how do I put it, like a funnel? They're flanking. It's going to be like a pincer almost. So, like, we're going to have our main force in the middle absorbing a lot of the attack, you know, with the soulless, the ghouls, the elephants. And then we'll put some cavalry. They're going to be the fast-moving units. They're going to try to get around into the back of the army very quickly, try to circle and close around. And I'll have some slow-moving skeletons to absorb some of that fire as well, and absorb some attacks, and simply just kind of keep the enemy distracted and kind of like keep them pulling towards us, but pulling to the sides too, because they're really not going to know, you know, what to do if we've got something a little bit like that going, right? So at least that's how I like to think it's going to work. Obviously, that doesn't always mean anything. But that's how I like to think of it as. So obviously we want them to attack the rearmost enemy. If we can get another really good unit here, we want these guys to actually fire at the closest enemy. And they need to be really more like here. And we'll give them a sparse line formation too. It'll close off this kind of whole area. These guys are undisciplined. I've got them in the back. We'll keep them like in the way back. They'll be like just a cushiony shield in the back of the army, just in case we have units drop behind us, something summoned behind us. Fire closest. Yeah, they're fine where they're at. I got to keep some units in the back, right? So these guys fire closest enemy, because these guys, actually what I should do is put more. Well, that's what I have pretty much back here. I got to keep those guys kind of back here because they will be able to help by doing that. Because they'll be able to fire. See, they're going to be able to fire into enemy units that are crashed up here in the front. So yeah, we got a big freaking blob of units here. Have him just attack the closest enemy. Why not? These guys, right? So I kind of almost like what they're doing right there. So I'm going to leave them. Just set them to attack the closest enemy. And just leave them kind of there where they're at. Wow, we've got a lot of units. Okay, so these guys here, this is going to be, let's see, we need another really large. I want to keep these units doing what they're doing, right? So for this one here, I need another flank. So rearmost enemy, skirmish formation off to this side. Okay. Obviously, the lictors are going to guard the commander, and they're going to focus on moving with the lich. We'll move them back just a little bit so they're not taking too much of it. I do want the lich somewhat in the front. This guy I want right next to the lich because he's got some pretty good weapons. Need to keep the priests back. They've got to stay safe so they can keep casting spells of protection. We're going to put him in a line formation right up in the front. They're going to attack the closest enemy. We need some cavalry. We can't have all the cavalry trying to go, you know, trying to flank the rear, because that ain't going to work. Okay, we want them like that, which means, yeah, okay, we've got it. Yeah, these guys, right? So we had them in the front. Let's actually put them in a skirmish formation so they're scattered a little bit. And these guys, we got them in a box. A skirmish formation would actually put them, there'd be a lot of them, right? Double line formation, no good. Obviously sparse. Skirmish. Do I want to go skirmish or box? I like the box, but I'm afraid of area of effect, magic spells and the such. I don't know what to expect. I'm going to do a skirmish. That's what I'm going to do. I'm really thinking hard about this. We'll just do a skirmish. I want them kind of spaced out a little bit, right? I mean, they worked really well as a box formation last time. But we were fighting like cavalry units. We weren't dealing with a whole lot of... But, so here's my, like, pull, right? So box formation, there's a lot tighter formation. They're centered around the important units. Skirmish formation, you know, they're centered around, obviously, area of effect, like I said, is going to be my biggest challenge. Skirmish formation, they're spaced out a lot better. have a lot more coverage of the overall army, so it won't feel like my strongest units are just grouped up in the center getting flanked from the sides as my skeletons get crushed. It'll feel more like the army's fleshed out. My biggest issue is if it ends up being too fleshed out, then they're going to be able to pick off the lictors one by one. I'm never going to get like a true solid group. But you know what? I think I'm going to do skirmish because I like the fact that it kind of puts them deeper into the different parts of my army. I feel like it really helps to protect my skeletons and everything. So there's a lot of them there. That's what we're going to do. And last but not least, the Horde of Skeletons, Horde of Skeletons. Everybody's got Horde of Skeletons, right? We've got all of our blessings ready. So last but not least, we've got this unit here set up to attack the closest. Let's put them in a skirmish formation up near the front of these lictors. That'll just provide a little bit of cushion, right? And then, obviously, we got to keep the priests scattered a little bit. I actually need priests off to the sides here because I need to make sure blessings are being cast around. And the mages as well need to make sure that they're spaced out. Horde of Skeletons, yeah, raise dead. We got resist magic, hand of dust, astral shield. Let's see, astral healing, not really going to help us, I don't think. And then anti-magic. For the remainder of the battle, huh? Well, that might be pretty useful. Can I not cast it? Astral pearls. Well, that's fine. I'm sure I can have some. I'll just need to make sure he's got some, right? So we'll just have to... Oh, maybe he can't because we're not here? Bummer. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to... Right, left click. I could bring some with me, but it'll be too late. So I could bring some with me here. Alright, so that's everything there set up. Wow, we spent like 20 minutes going through and setting all that up. I'm fairly confident in the way it's set up. We're going to have to set everybody to patrol, though. That's the one thing, too, is if I move these units to here... They may not participate in the attack because they'll go into the fortress, right? Or will they? Do they appear in the province? I'm not really sure how that works. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how that works. Oh, let's get these guys in the fight. Whoever we can, or wherever we can fit them. A little bit of Solus. There's not a whole lot in this build. But there's a little bit. Okay. Oh, yeah, the mages I was supposed to get spaced out a little bit. They're fairly well spaced out. There's a few in the back that need to move, as well as a couple commander units that need to be spaced out a little bit better. Actually, be better off putting him with this entourage here. In fact, putting him up in the front. Good way to absorb a lot of stuff. Right, these Mountain Kings need to be kind of spaced out too. I don't need to be like sniped. Most of them are set to stay behind troops. Yeah, I want mages definitely up in the front lines summoning every freaking skeleton they possibly can. I've got a couple of them obviously off to the sides too, but I need a bunch of them like up here in the front portion, right? And then I've got a couple off to the different sides and everything, but definitely a couple up front. With wherever I could put priests so they can keep blessings coming. And mages to keep summonings coming. I've got a priest there in the back that's got to move. Here's another mage. Sure. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, he's in a good spot. You are also in a good spot. Where's that one mage, though? I gotta move him. Or not mage, that one priest. There, that'll keep... my hope is that they'll keep producing skeletons that'll kind of surround my main units and provide support. I got him set to hold 2 turns. That's fine. Hold 2 turns while this guy's casting magic. He's not going to be able to cast anti-magic. It's fine. Okay, I've got one more priest. You need to be like right probably here in the back part. Because I need as many priests in the center. Just one on each side in the center, and then I'll have more priests coming in. Okay, so that's that for this army. This army's ready to go. I just got to make sure I set them to patrol, right? So we quickly got to do this. I don't got a whole lot of time. Well, I've got all the time in the world, really. It's not like you guys, you're here. This is what you're here for. And you guys can see how I'm really laying it out. All right. That's right. We're taking all these guys with us. They do no good sitting back here, and I lost the game anyway, so we might as well just have a big battle to celebrate. I probably could have done more damage in the game, and I'm sure that this is something that's going to come up as it closes in on the last few episodes. Like, so you guys are watching this. The game's already over, obviously. If you're watching turn 45, the game's already ended. It would have just ended at turn 50. So, like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people watching this one and trying to give me advice or tell me what I could have done better. And I know a lot of the stuff I could have done better. I could have played a lot more aggressively, too, but I was very hesitant. I actually didn't know the game was ending at I forgot that the game was ending at turn 50 until I got to, like, I don't know, until I was, like, too deep in, basically. So, at that point, it was kind of like, well, there's really nothing I can do. Obviously I don't want them up in there. I want them... Let's put these guys maybe somewhere else, right? Let's have a small unit up here. Obviously that don't matter. The mages, where they're placed, they do matter. We want them up in the... right behind, or right around my main units. Or something like this anyways. Oh, we gotta leave somebody here. We'll leave these guys. Alright. Sure. Just trying to make this work real quick. Alright. No, we want them all to move. And for here, you see we've got some units up here. We'll leave one ghoul. So long as one ghoul holds it, it's technically all good to go. Honestly, this would just be easier. There. Okay, the exciting part is these guys. That's actually a pretty large... They can only be in a skirmish formation. Let's have them off to the side. They'll just spread out and just freaking whatever. They'll go nuts. It'll be fun. Priest. One priest up in the front, or yeah, you just have hanging off like right here somewhere, right? Okay, there we go. These guys are all set to move then. These guys just need to set everybody here basically to defend or patrol, I guess. Because if you don't set them to patrol, then they... The only other thing I could do, right? He's moving here. Oops. Obviously, like, I was thinking about it, and I could just wait for him to move here and then try to break the siege and do it that way. That'll at least ensure that everybody can participate, but I don't want to get him confused because he said, oh, make sure you set your guys to patrol. So I'm just going to go ahead and set them to patrol so there's no confusion there. And he's not messaging me being like, oh, what happened? And I don't want him to think because we're having like a little friendly duel here is what we're doing. So everybody's set up. So we're all set and ready to go. I got a few ghouls in here. Just take them all out except for one. Oh, I can't unless I do this. And the only other thing I could do if I wanted to make sure I was using all my resources, and I may as well be using all my resources since I set them to, let's see. All right, so they're all set to patrol. Yeah, the only other thing I could do... What the heck? I don't know why that keeps happening. Patrol province. Okay, this is like a really weird glitch or something I'm getting. Okay, everybody's good now. Okay, so they're all set to patrol, so we're good there. Yeah, the only thing I was saying I could do is I've got treasury, I got gold that's not going to do anything, so we'll just go ahead and dump it into province defense as much as we can. Just dump it all in there. That just buys us a little bit more units that we wouldn't have normally had. No reason not to. I literally am going to do nothing with the gold. So, get a couple long dead legionnaires. They're actually, you know, pretty good units, and the long dead horsemen, and we'll get one mound king and one sensor. So just some extra units we never had. So we're all set and ready to go. All right, guys, so a little bit of a long episode as we set everything up, but I hope you're excited for the next one. I know I am, and you guys can join me for that one. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it goes. I thought about using, I've got death gems, and I thought about using them to cast something that that would help me, but whatever I cast, it'll be inside the fortress, so it won't matter. It won't be out to patrol or anything. So that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, I was really trying to think of like a way I could use them. Well, I guess I can't. Now, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe there was something I'm missing, but everybody's set to move. Everybody's set to get there and patrol. These guys, I don't know if they're going to join the attack or not. I imagine they will. But this is a large enough army that I'm fairly confident that we're gonna put a dent in Tortuga's army. I've heard his army is extremely powerful, so I'm not sure how it'll go, but what the hell happened here? Hold on. That's not supposed to be like that, right? 172 units in garrison. Do I just have too many units that can go on the battlefield? Is that what just happened? Oh, I might have to move some of these around then. That's obviously a huge freaking problem. Oh, you know what? It's the units. It's the underwater glitch I was having. Oh, that's what it is. Well, that's fine. This should be fairly easy to fix real quick. Just attack closest enemy. Skirmish formation up in the front here. They're back a little bit. Well, or something like that. And then these ghouls. I'll just throw them on here. Or wherever they'll fit. Sure. That must have just been the whole water glitch I was having. I'm not that concerned. Actually, line formation up in the front. Okay. There, so now we're set. It's a good thing I saw that. We would have lost completely if I hadn't caught that. Okay, that's why I was double checking. So everything is here. Everything's in order. Everything is good to go. Like I was saying, I've heard his army is extremely powerful. We may not kill it, but we're probably not going to kill it. But I hope to God we at least put a... I hope we just don't get completely rolled over. I hope we put a good dent in it. Okay, we got a lot of undead units here, so I'm fairly confident that we can put a pretty large dent in his army. Whether, aside from that, I don't know. So, okay, everything is set and ready, though. Everybody's on patrol, correct? One more good pass. Yes, everybody's on patrol. So I don't think I've forgotten anything too crazy. So next time, guys, get ready. The big battle. And then that'll be pretty much wrapping up the series. So thank you guys for joining me for this one. I do hope you've all enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you next time.